This is the Papa and Son Sports Podcast.
I'm Papa.
I'm Son. Today's episode, we're going to go on predictions. Then we're going to go into the NBA's dynamic duos. Starting off with predictions, let's talk about our Commanders and the Bears.
Our Commanders host the Bears this Thursday night football, week 5. What you think, son? Who coming out on top?
We better win. If we don't win, that's going to be really concerning for me. Like, very concerning. Just throw the whole season in the garbage if we don't win this game.
You're concerned if we don't win. Now, last year when we played them on Thursday night football in Chicago, it was actually a pretty good game. I like the Thursday night football game. Sometimes they're slow and they're sluggish and they kind of like push you close. But I like them because everybody stays in the game, so to speak. You don't really see many blowouts. Like I said, they could be sloppy and sluggish and slow, but I like it because it builds up for a good ending.
Yeah.
Anything jump out to you there? Anything jump out? Any players you think should stand out or struggle or anything?
I hope Terry can have a good game as the defense isn't the best. And hope Sam Harold continues to grow. And I hope Emmanuel Forbes can have a come-up game from the beatdown he had last week. Hopefully he can kind of build himself back up, get some of that confidence back.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really heard anything. I haven't really watched anything or listened to anybody this week. I guess you could say he got a beat down. I just think he needed help. You understand? I think he needed help. I think that was your coaching staff, your defensive coach, your defensive coordinator. They got to do a better job of sending you help. They got to do a better job of reading, the offense and understanding what the opposing team is playing against you. Because once they saw that, there was a mismatch. You got a rookie against, a premier wide receiver, a big wide receiver. Arthur is a big guy. You know what I'm saying? He's like double the size of what Forbes is. So I really think that was more so on the coaching. You know what I'm saying? I think they need to get him help, or I think they need to switch off or whatever they needed to do. So I wouldn't put that beat down completely on him because he was there. He was there in those plays. Most of those plays he was there. I think he could have get his head turned around, but I think that's the entire secondary of all teams. I think they most definitely don't play the ball these days. I know when I was younger, about your age, the thing was, when you see the receiver look for the ball, you got to turn to find the ball too. But I don't know what they do these days.
But I think it was important though for him to be a good coach. I think it was kind of his welcome to the NFL moment. I hopefully think he can not come down from it, but build from this point.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly who the Bills have. I mean, I'm sorry, who the Bears have. I know they have DJ Moore over there.
That's about it.
That's about it.
They got Chase Claypool, but Chase Claypool hasn't really done much. And I'm not even sure he's going to play because apparently he's meant to be getting traded soon. And I think they said they're not going to put him in practice or something like that until he's traded. I think that was him at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you got stuck there.
I got stuck?
But it's okay. We'll work through it. Like I said, we'll get everything we need. Right now, we're going to give them content, and then we'll give them a better quality of picture and audio and, build that background and everything like that. But right now, we're going to work on content. We're going to work on getting comfortable, on screen, back and forth, you and I. But what I would say is, like I said, they have DJ Moore, and like I said, we struggle against big backs. We struggle against big backs. We struggle against fast backs. I mean, wide receivers. We struggle against big wide receivers. We struggle against fast wide receivers. So hopefully the defensive coordinator will figure that out. Here's what I want to talking about the defensive coordinator and the coaches. Sam Howell, actually, before we jump to them really quickly, Sam Howell, do you think we found that guy in Sam Howell? I seen that the Eagles, the guy Slayton, I don't know too many of these people, but he said that he thinks, what's his name?
Darius Slay?
Slay.
Slayton is a wide receiver on the Giants. I don't.
All right, well, the defensive back, I believe, said for Philadelphia Eagles, said he thinks that the Washington Commanders had found that quarterback in Sam Howell.
I think it's still early. I'm gonna be honest.
Still early.
Still early, but so far what we've seen, I think when he's actually blocked for and protected, he has been fairly good from still being a young guy. Like when he's actually blocked for, like in that game he was blocked for, and I think he had a fairly good game. But where last week it felt like he was running and getting sacked every other play, and he didn't have a good game. It's just
he was getting up from the dirt a lot.
Yeah.
He was most definitely getting up from the dirt a lot when we played the Bills. But, like we touched on then, I still thought we was in that game. So that leads me to coaching. I personally think the defensive coordinator should have been gone. I think he should have been out of there. How about Ron Rivera? They said something about his name. I don't know, something River. I don't know. But basically they said, I've heard people say basically he need to get up out of there. It's time for Ron to go. At 2-2, do you think we have a coaching emergency? Do you think Ron Rivera needs to go?
No. I don't necessarily love what I see from him all the time, but just if we're talking about this season, you're talking about the 2-2 start, not necessarily.
Yeah, man. I do think this is his year. If we don't make the playoffs this year, I do
think it's this year. This is his deciding year for me.
Yeah,
but I don't think you can go based off this 2-2 start. I don't think so at all.
Yeah. But the coach, the defensive coordinator, even though I think I seen Josh Allen. Who the fuck is it? Who we got? What's our Allen name?
Jonathan Allen?
Huh?
Jonathan?
Yeah, Jonathan Allen. Well, I believe he said that the defense will be better. But once again, I'm not saying that they can't be better because they most definitely missed some tackles there. They most definitely allow big plays. So they can be better. They most definitely can be better. But I think it's preparation. Like I said, I think it's preparation for me. I think their coaching staff need to do a better job of preparing them, everybody on that football field, everybody on that football team, the Commanders, from 1 to whatever it is, 60 or whatever it is on that football team. I think our coaching staff needs to do a better job of leading these players and instilling confidence in them and building, their repertoire and building their confidence and building their knowledge. So let's get into the whole breakdown. Bears versus Commanders. You say Commanders should win?
Yeah.
I say Commanders should dominate. If Commanders doesn't show me a dominant performance, then I don't think we are where we need to be. I just think we have good spurts and we show that we can be a good team. But like I said, once we bring it all together and a dominant performance, especially against a team like Chicago, they're a bit struggling. And so for me, we gotta dominate. But let's go down the line. Commanders kick off. They host the Bears on Thursday. And then we have Jaguars at Bills. How you feel there?
Bills just have been completely, ever since that week 1 performance, it seemed like they just been going crazy. They just been that week 1 performance, and then they just been, right now they seem like one of the top dominant teams in the NFL for me.
Yeah, they most definitely was in my Super Bowl predictions from even last year. Actually, Stephon Diggs, hometown kid. We Commanders is our hometown team. Me being a Washington D.C. native, my son actually is a Maryland native, born in Maryland. I guess we can say we're both Maryland natives, but I was born in the district and at a time where our Commanders was actually winning Super Bowls. But my son haven't quite experienced the same success, haven't seen the same success. But I would say the Bills is most definitely a contender. But Stephon Diggs is what I'm saying. Hometown kid from Gatesburg, Maryland. Give a shout out to Stephon Diggs, hometown kid from Gatesburg, Maryland. Not quite a kid. Him and his brother. They hometown. Moco, baby. Montgomery County, Maryland. So what you say? Jaguars or Bills? Jaguars or Bills?
Give me Bills.
Give you Bills. I'm gonna go Jags.
Really?
I will go Jags just because I used to like it. I don't know nobody. What's that quarterback name again?
Trevor Lawrence.
Huh?
Trevor Lawrence.
Long kid with the long hair, the long flowing head and shoulders hair. Saints and Patriots.
Patriots.
Oh wow. Patriots.
Yeah.
I made a quick TikTok where I was saying before Tom Brady and Bill Belichick split, and I think a lot of others always wanted to see what the two would do separately. We've seen Tom Brady to go on to have success, win a Super Bowl, and still have success, come very close to going back to the Super Bowl a couple times. After he won a Super Bowl. So I always wanted to see what they would do. I think that was a ideal situation of the student surpassing the teacher. And I think their time together, iron was sharpening, steel was sharpening steel, I think the student was pushing the teacher, and they were sharpening each other's craft. But I'm going to say Saints just because they got their ass, the New England Patriots, they got their ass handed to them last week. And, I think it's time for Bill to go ahead and retire, to tell you the truth. Let's see what he does. You think it's time? I don't know, son. We'll see. We'll see how they
their defense got extremely injured. I don't think their team has been poorly coached very much, except for last year, but that was mostly on their offensive coordinator, is what they like to say. But this year, their entire defense really got hurt. 4 of their corners got hurt. Their Matthew Judon got hurt.
You will know better than I, so I'm going to take your word on that. The defense.
Even Christian Gonzalez got hurt. Yeah.
You most definitely will know better than I, so I'll take your word on that because I have no clue.
Matter of fact, they just got to recover from those 4 losses. They just got J.C. Jackson back. Person they traded away to the Chargers. Then he was out basically the entire season. Played poorly this year, and now he's back on the Patriots.
We'll go down the line to Titans at Colts. I'm assuming that they're playing at these places. I'm saying they're playing based on how they were ordered in the matchup. So we have Titans at Colts.
I'm going Colts.
Colts. I think I agree with you. I'm going to agree with you.
The Titans did look decent last week. I think Anthony Richardson has been doing amazing. I think Michael Pittman will wake up more this week, hopefully, and I think they'll be good. And Jonathan Taylor is meant to be also coming back this week.
So let's see how that goes. And I just don't like Tennessee. I just don't like Tennessee. Ravens at Steelers. That is an AFC, whatever division they in, rivalry.
Ravens by landslides.
Ravens by a landslide.
The Steelers suck.
As I see it, they are in Pittsburgh. And like I said, that's a rivalry game. And rivalry games, as we seen last week with our Commanders and the Eagles, can almost go any way for some reason. You know, each team kind of have the other team number, kind of have them figured out some way or another since they play them so often, I would assume. But I'm going to go Steelers.
Really? The Steelers sucked.
Yeah.
There's nothing that has looked good for them, honestly.
I don't know. I just, like I said, just because of the rivalry game, just because it looks like they're in Pittsburgh, looking like I'm expecting for the Steelers to bounce back. The Ravens
lost their quarterback too.
Say it again.
They lost their quarterback too.
They lost their quarterback. The Steelers did.
In an already poor offense, they lost their quarterback. I just don't see them doing very good, I'll be honest.
I still go Steelers just for the hell of it. Panthers at Lions.
Lions.
I'll go Lions as well. Texans at Falcons.
Give me Texans.
Give me Texans too. I got one of them big ass backs. I can't remember the guy's name. They got a big back. I mean, I'm sorry. I keep calling them backs. I got a big wide receiver from the Texans on my fantasy. So I haven't started him actually. He's been sitting on the bench. You know, I can actually start him.
Who, Nico?
Huh?
Who, Nico?
I'm not actually sure. Actually, let me see who I got on here. He got one of these guys. One of them big.
Is it Nico? I think it's Nico.
I'll tell you. I have N. Collins, Nico Collins.
Nico.
Yeah, I got Nico. He's sitting at number 7 at wide receiver, averaging 20 points in fantasy right now. But he's been on my bench. And I got some wide receivers. I could probably send Terry. I got Terry on my in my starter lineup. And my other starting wide receiver is Stephon Diggs. And my flex is Puka Nuka. What's the kid name?
Puka Nacua.
Puka Nacua! Puka Nuka. Puka Nacua. I got Puka Nacua. He been balling.
I'm interested to see how it's going to be with Cooper Kupp back this week.
I mean, if Cooper come back and Puka, if Cooper come back and Puka decline in performance, then I'll go ahead and put Nico Collins where Puka is. But right now, Puka Nacua, I'm gonna keep him there, and yeah.
Also interested to see with Nico. I want to see how if his targets will go down the more Tank Dell fully wakes up and Tank Dell becomes. I wonder if Tank Dell will become the main guy. What I'm interested in.
See, I'll follow a little bit more. I try to follow a little bit more in sports in general this year.
Hey, remember, Tank Dell is the guy that they got this year. He's the rookie with C.J. Stroud, and C.J. Stroud vouched for him in the draft. Actually, he he was part of the decision to get him on the Texans, which kind of crazy. You just draft a quarterback, and then you're already trying to start kind of picking and having influence on the draft picks.
Let's see what happens. We got Giants at Dolphins.
Dolphins. The Giants suck. Like, actually, they're terrible. They are terrible.
Hey, the coach, I wish I would have got his name, but the head coach for the New York Giants, when he went over there, they got a little clip going around where he went over there to talk to Daniel Jones, and he had the tablet trying to show him the plays, and it just looked like he just gave up. He went over there, he had it in his hands,
Yes.
and he was just like, whatever.
Like,
What?
the Giants suck. Saquon might be back this week, but I still don't think that's going to do much. To be honest, it's not a good team, especially without Saquon. It's like Saquon almost holds them up to a tier above, and then Saquon is their deciding factor.
Yeah.
Without Saquon, they literally come down a tier.
Yeah, I most definitely agree with Saquon. When you have a guy like Saquon who can just dominate the
And they
field.
still only signed him to a 1-year contract, which gets on my nerves, and they didn't even pay him that much. He held out just to get paid for a 1-year deal and not get paid that much. I hated that.
Yeah, then here we are now with Fate. I would say that's why now he's not in. But there's been a lot of running backs to go out. There's been a lot of players in general to go out, starting players to go out to injury so far this year in the NFL. Even before the season started, those guys was getting hurt and in the camps. In the training camps and the preseason games and practices before the NFL regular season even started. So I think that even in the NBA, I think for us to have the advances that we have in technology and medicine and just overall wellness, I think those injuries speak volumes on the wear and tear and the amount of just stress that's being put on the body in this day and time, not just in sports, just in life. I think the stressors in life is just overwhelming. And that's, another topic for another day, maybe on another, not even, I would say another podcast, but most definitely another topic for another day. We kind of look into some of those numbers and start to compare and contrast, this day and time to a previous day and time and kind of see where we are, because I think maybe it's just more news out now, but I just think the number of injuries in sports today is just overwhelming. Bengals at Cardinals.
For the Bengals season, it better be the Bengals. They lose this game, their season's most likely over.
Yeah, I got Joe Burrow. I took him as my starting quarterback, and Joe been stinking up the place. So and Joe Mixon as well. Both Joes for me been stinking up the place. I got Joe as one of my RB1s, and he hasn't been performing. Last year he did me wonders.
I still don't think he should be playing.
Huh?
I still don't think Joe Burrow should be playing. Well, now it's a little too late for Joe Burrow to not play, but I think they should have maybe started him off not playing so he can be at 100% by the time he comes back, instead of this where he's in, not letting his injury fully heal, and they're still doing bad. I just don't see the point.
Yeah, it's I was gonna try to clean it up, and I'm still gonna clean it up a little bit, but it's Joe Burrow. You know what I'm saying? He like the white boy poster child for the NFL in a lot of ways, So they need Joe out there. They're not going to necessarily tell Joe no if Joe don't want to be told no. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta, he got as folks used to say, he got the complexion for the protection. You couldn't have Lamar out there, and then they talk bad about Watson, Deshaun Watson, because they said that he was actually cleared to play medically by the doctors, but he chose to sit. And I think that's a smart move. That's a big move to me. That's taking your own life and destiny in your own hands. He felt like he wasn't ready to play, so he didn't play. And they tried to dump the blame on him from what I read, because it was like basically he was cleared to play and he left his team out to dry. He hung his team out to dry. And I'm just like, whatever. The man clearly said he didn't feel comfortable enough to go out there and play, so he didn't, And I have nothing but respect for that. Eagles at Rams.
Eagles.
I'm going to take the Rams. Because Puka Nacua, he going to get his first touchdown. That kid ain't scored a touchdown yet.
Yes.
One of the highest fantasy.
He has scored a touchdown.
He has 3 touchdowns?
He scored a touchdown last week to close the game.
Did he?
Yes.
All right, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I got to go back and
in overtime. He scored a touchdown to close the game.
I didn't see none of those touchdowns. I didn't see him have a touchdown at all, son. Now, I didn't do a good job because I don't know where my charger is. And it looked like we about to run out of juice, right? It looks like we're about to run out of juice. No, he had a touchdown last year. It said he only had 1 touchdown though, son. He only had 1 touchdown this year, and that was last week.
Yeah, that's what Rams wide receiver are. They get 1 million receptions. That's what they are.
Yeah.
With Cooper, he gets 1 million receptions.
So yards, 119 the first week. Puka Nacua, that's it. That is 147 the next week, 72 the third week, 163 last week being the 4th week. So he's most definitely putting up yards. He's most definitely putting up receptions, but he haven't been getting in the end zone. But it's fine by me. He's still giving me good fantasy points, and he's not.
He has the most receptions in the NFL. That's what Rams wide receivers are. That's what I'm saying. They get so many receptions. Like, Puka Nacua literally got thrown into the Cooper Kupp spot. Cooper Kupp does exactly what Puka Nacua does. He plays more of the slot and gets a ton of receptions. They literally plugged him in to Cooper Kupp. He's like, Cooper Kupp's out right now. Here you go. Here's the spot for now.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be hard for them to plug in Cooper in that position as much as Nacua has been doing. So yeah. So we're gonna run through this because, like I said, we are about to run out of time. We're gonna run through the rest, and then we're gonna come back. We're gonna leave this here, then we're gonna come back one day soon and do our dynamic duos. Okay. Sound good? That's for our listeners as well. We're going to run through our last few games because Papa did not charge his device, and I don't know where my device is, and I want to step away and come back and all of those stuff.
My phone died too soon, so yeah, we gotta do this quick.
We got Jets at Broncos.
Say it again.
Jets at Broncos.
Jets.
I'm going to take Broncos there.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to take Broncos there, most definitely. Jets suck.
Had a good game last week.
Yeah, that's one of those games where it's going to be a good one. It's actually going to be a good game. It'll probably be one of the better games of the week, in my opinion. Chiefs at Vikings.
Say it again?
Chiefs at Vikings.
I'm going to go Chiefs.
I go Chiefs. Cowgirls at 49ers.
I'm going to go 49ers. Give me 49ers. Now, I hope the 49ers win for division's sake and just my personal belief.
Yeah. I most definitely feel you. But, yeah, I ain't going with the Cowgirls ever. I don't give a fuck who they playing. But Packers at Raiders is Monday night. Sunday night is Packers. 49ers. Monday night. That is our rundown for week. Where we at 5 in the NFL.
5. Yes.
Close it out, son. This has
been the Popular Some Sports Podcast.
I'm Papa.
I'm Sam.
Deuces.